Hi everyone, it's Vesper. Happy Asexual Awareness Week. Last year for Asexual Awareness Week, I made this video in support of young aces. It's just as relevant this year as it was last year, so maybe share it again if you haven't already on social media or with someone that you know. This year, I want to make a similar video, but this time for older aces. Older aces. I myself am 31, and whether 31 counts as older or not in your book, I think is just as much about your age as it is mine. But regardless of that, at 31, I do very much feel like an older ace. Hell, when I was 27, I felt like an older ace, and I think that the fact that I'm not even that old, but I feel old in the ace community speaks volumes about how skewed the ace community is at present. A lot of resources and awareness efforts are aimed at people who are in a different place in life than older aces are, and I feel like that can make it harder for older aces to relate to and connect with the ace community at large and to feel validated or included in ace activism. So this video is dedicated to anyone who considers themselves to be an older ace or to anyone who otherwise finds the content of this video relevant to them personally. Society likes to try and invalidate people's sexualities in any way that it can, and this is as true for older aces as it is for younger aces. In fact, sometimes that invalidation is uniquely tied to age, specifically older age, and life experiences that come with older age or that become increasingly likely with older age. On top of that, it can be especially hard to deal with the internalized invalidation that you have been socially conditioned to have and that has gone unchecked for the majority of your life. Having said that, you can never be too old to be ace. There is no such thing. Whether you're just now coming out to yourself as ace, whether you've always known that you're asexual, but you never had the word asexual, or whether you're still questioning and you're just not sure, but you think you might be asexual. It doesn't matter. You can never be too old to be who you are, to know who you are, to be questioning who you are. It doesn't matter if you're 30, 40, 50, 60, or older. It doesn't matter if you're married, you've been married in the past, or you've never been in a relationship before at all. It doesn't matter if you have a kid, if you have 6, or if you're still a virgin. It doesn't matter if you've experienced trauma or if you've gone through menopause. It doesn't matter if you've never experienced the all too common narrative of feeling broken or any other negative thing that's commonly talked about in the ace community. That is to say that none of it matters unless you decide that it matters, because you are the only one who gets to decide what matters. And they can try to decide what matters for you, they can try to invalidate your identity, but the fact is that none of that stuff even invalidates your asexuality. You can be ace and any of the things that I just mentioned. And if you do feel like some of those things do directly relate to your asexuality, even cause it, that's okay too. Your asexuality is still 100% valid. You may be in a long-term relationship or married with or without kids, and you may want to come out as ace, you may want to live your truth, but you are faced with the question of why come out given your age or the situation. You may be faced with this question from others, or it may come from within yourself of why you need to come out and rock the boat. Either way, your feelings in that situation are 100% valid. Your feelings of wanting to come out or to not come out are 100% valid, and your asexuality is valid regardless of whether you come out or not, regardless of what you do or you don't do. Perhaps you're an older ace who has already been through the everyone my age is getting married, having kids, buying houses, blah blah blah, and are now faced with said everyone making assumptions about your child-free single life and how awesome it must be and how they wish they were asexual because, oh my god, your life must be so much easier and free of drama. Or perhaps you're someone who went along with social and familial heteronormative expectations of sex and relationships and are now coming out to yourself in the middle of a relationship or in the aftermath of one. Or perhaps you're neither of those things, but you still feel a disconnect between yourself and the things that you find when you look into asexuality. I'm here to say that it's okay. You're okay. Your feelings and your experiences are 100% valid. If you feel like you're angry at yourself or whoever, the world, for having not discovered asexuality sooner, you're 100% justified feeling that way. It is absolutely okay to feel annoyed, angry, whatever about people making faulty assumptions about you and your life. It's absolutely 100% okay to be 40 and still not know what the fuck sexual attraction even is. It's okay to feel lost, confused, or uncertain about how you feel about being ace. Not everyone is out and proud. Not everyone likes the fact that they're ace. Not everyone can come to terms with that, and that's okay. Your feelings, whatever they may be, are okay and are valid. Including still feeling lonely in the ace community after coming out, even though you're actually not alone at all. Maybe you're struggling with identifying as asexual because of past experiences, or maybe you're struggling because you feel like in the past you weren't asexual and so you're hesitant to identify as asexual now. While some feel like they've always been asexual, regardless of whether they actually knew they were or not, that doesn't describe everyone's experience with asexuality. Your asexuality is no less real or valid for having not always been asexual, or for your asexuality being explicitly linked to something in your past. It really doesn't get said enough that while many people feel like they were born that way, not everyone feels that way, and that is 100% okay. Feeling like you weren't born that way but you're asexual now is 100% valid. The desexualization of older people and related expectations is just as much a problem as the oversexualization of young people and the expectation that young people always have raging hormones. The older you get, the more taboo it becomes to talk about your sexuality with other people at all. And it's not just that. Society completely erases the sexuality of older people altogether, with assumptions that the older you get, the less sexually inclined you become naturally. And oh my god, if you have a uterus and you go through menopause, your sexual life is over. You are no longer a sexual being at all. That's what society expects everyone to believe. While the ace community is focused on combating the assumption that someone could be too young to be asexual, there isn't enough combating the assumption that you could be too old to be asexual, or that, of course, you're asexual. Everyone who's your age is. The asexual community itself is a relatively recent thing, and as such, most older aces have gone through life without access to the word asexual, let alone access to the asexual community. Because of that, a lot of older aces already have other established identities that they had before coming across the word asexual. And for them, they may be very emotionally invested and tied to that other identity, and it may be difficult for them to reconcile that identity with a newer asexual one. If you feel like that is the case for you, then please know that you are 100% justified in feeling that way, that you do not have to explicitly identify as asexual if you don't want to, and any connection that you do feel to asexuality is still 100% valid and worth talking about, regardless of whether you explicitly identify as asexual or not. I know there are a lot of experiences unique to older asexuals that I haven't even touched upon in this video because I can't touch upon everything. But I hope that you understand that the message that I'm trying to send is the same, regardless of whether I explicitly mentioned your personal situation or not. No matter how old you are, you can never be too old to be ace. You can never be too old to come out as ace, and you can never be too old to question whether or not you are ace. Regardless of whether you feel positive or negative about being asexual, your feelings are real and your feelings are your feelings to have. They are 100% valid and you are 100% justified in feeling that way. No one is ever justified in trying to use your past or anything else about you against you to invalidate your sexuality. And no one is ever justified in trying to say that you have no reason to come out of the closet if you want to, or belittle your reasons for wanting to come out of the closet. And similarly, if you don't want to come out, that's also 100% okay. You are no less asexual for not coming out. The asexual community as a whole, myself included, have a long way to go when it comes to learning how to embrace, uplift, validate, support, and acknowledge the unique experiences of older aces. In the meantime, I sincerely hope that this video can be of at least some support or help to older aces, and I sincerely hope that it can generate some thought, some consideration, some awareness of older aces this Asexual Awareness Week, because older aces, you are fucking amazing. You are fucking awesome. And no matter how distant you may feel from the asexual community at times because of age, because of life experience, you are never alone. There are more older aces out there than you and anyone knows. So, older aces, younger aces, everyone, please have an awesome Asexual Awareness Week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.